So I want to welcome everybody to Robbie's Bar and Grill. I am sitting here with the one and only Johnny Alonso. He is top notch in the business, entertainment world. If you want to know who he is, all you got to do is look him up on IMDb. He's got a lot of content out there. But before we really get into some of the great things and projects that Johnny's been a part of, I just want to congratulate him on his award, his Lifetime Achievement Award that he won for the Baltimore
Next Media Web Fest.
Yeah. So you take it from here, Johnny.
Yeah, dude, thank you.
Wow,
first of all, thank you for staying up to date with all of my stuff.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, but this just happened this past weekend. I was completely floored. I had no idea that I was going to win this award. Elena Moscat, the creative mind behind the series Rosemary Street, which we'll get into in a second. She is the creator of the Baltimore Next Media Web Fest. Now, for several years, it's been going on, and it's one hell of a festival. I mean, they get submissions from all over the world, brother, and all over the country, and they had many filmmakers, actors, and artists fly in from all over the country and all over the world to this festival. Yeah, man, including myself. I flew in from California. And last Sunday was the award ceremony, and my good friend Kai Jackson. I know you know Kai.
I know Kai.
Yeah, man, the TV announcer. Yeah. Great guy.
Been doing it for a very long time.
Yeah,
as well.
he's a wonderful man, wonderful family. He's just got a great personality. Everything about him he's a talented creative artist. He's also one of our writers, co-writers for Rosemary Street. He won a Lifetime Achievement Award. So he went up there, and I'm like, of course he did. He's just the greatest. So he comes back, and we're standing next to each other, and I'm talking to him. And, I'm listening to the MC, but then I just realized the MC's voice changed. I'm like, I kind of recognize that voice. And then this MC says something about a 100-year-old vampire, and I stop. I'm like, wait a minute, Kai. And I look up, and it's Elena. And Elena is saying 100-year-old vampire, because I always coin myself as a 300-year-old vampire. And she gave me my Lifetime Achievement Award, which, she handed. I mean, it was a total surprise. And it was great. I mean, it's nice being recognized for your work, man. And, like I said, I've been in the industry since black and white TV. I've been around for a while. And I really enjoy it, man. And to get that award and to be recognized as a seasoned vet is it's something else, you know?
Yeah, I mean, is that what it's really about for somebody as seasoned as yourself? Is it awards like that? I mean, think about it. You've traveled.
Hell yeah.
I mean, you've been a part of a lot of high-end, high-quality productions. The biggest, the best cameras, the greatest actors and actresses. But something like that award meant that much to you.
It really did, man. I mean, I've worked with the best. I mean, I've worked with names like Samuel L. Jackson, round for round with dialogue. I've been on TV shows that were watched every week. And an award like that I just got, the Lifetime Achievement Award, last Sunday at the Baltimore Next Media Web Fest, handed by one of my closest friends, Elena Moscat, and having groups of people there, talented artists, applaud, it made me feel great. Yeah, so I mean, it is. I mean, it is and it isn't. An actor is supposed to act. That's your job. Eventually, we'll talk about that in a second.
I know you
eventually. But when you stop and put your life, when you put your professional work on pause, and you have like your friends and your colleagues and like yourself, you say, "Congrats, bro." Just wanted to give you hats off. Right. It makes the actor or actress feel great. It's humbling.
Yeah, and I do understand that.
Yeah.
Because it's just one of those things where you just want people to acknowledge the time and effort that you put into something. You take pride in it.
Totally.
Yes, it's a job. Yes, you've surpassed a point where a lot of people want to get to. So once you get there, this stuff matters even more.
It does, man. No, you're right. Thank you. It does, because it's a brotherhood and sisterhood, man.
Yeah.
And it is a tight circle. It really is, because there are too many people that are trying to break in that I'm just gonna say it, have no business being in. You have to be. It's a calling, man. Acting, directing, filming. Thank you.
I agree with you.
Because there are a lot of. I'm just gonna say it, man. You asked me to be very honest. There are a lot of artless people, and not ragging on them, but you don't belong in the circle until you've vetted, invested the time and the effort and the energy.
Yes.
And eventually you come around to it, But I mean, like yourself, you're a filmmaker, you're creative, you're a DP, you're a host. You work very hard at doing all of this. Yes, and it's nice to get recognized by your friends and family, but more so, like I said, it's a circle. It's a small circle that you work into. And when you're there, it begins to you just become part of it. So I am an actor. I mean, I've been an actor, I've been a producer, I co-direct on Rosemary Street. Like I said, we'll be talking more about that show later.
Yeah.
But
well, you got a lot of shows. I mean, and I know I can't keep you long enough to go over your whole laundry list and catalog, if you will,
thank you.
Of things that you've accomplished over a period of time. And one in particular is What Death
Leaves Behind.
That premiere I went to.
Yes.
So I was there. I sat.
We met there.
That's where we met.
In Philly.
That's where we met.
Yeah.
And I looked and I watched, and I was just in awe at your acting ability and just what you brought to the screen.
Well, thank you.
And of course, just looking at you, you in person, on TV or on screen like that, you look taller.
Yeah, you're very imposing, right?
Right. And then the energy that you brought to that character, and I'm just always wondering, what's it like trying to get into these kind of characters that are completely different than you? I mean, look at the kind of person you are. You're lively, you're upbeat, yet you got to play these characters that are dismal, drowning, absorbing one's energies.
Yeah, well, thank you for bringing that up, because an actor is supposed to create. And to create, you have to invest a lot of time, and you have to find ways of bringing that heightened reality onto a set. What Death Leaves Behind, I'll get to that that first part of your question last. Getting absorbed into a character is exactly what an actor needs to do. But you have to also find a way out of the absorption.
Yes.
We've heard too many stories. And it doesn't always end very well. I went to NYU, and I graduated with through the Actor Studio, Lee Strasberg. I studied Uta Hagen, I studied Meisner, I studied all of the methods. But I always tell actors, eventually it becomes your own method. Yeah, don't get stuck in the learn from the old method because it works, but make it your own. That's what makes everybody their own. Yes. Anybody can copy a song and make it sound exactly like the composer. Mm-hmm. But what's the point? I may as well listen to the original band.
Right.
Make it yourself. Make the character yourself.
Yes.
The character that I did on What Death Leaves Behind, I had the greatest co-star, Erin O'Brien, phenomenal Los Angeles actress. And we're very close friends. And it was just easy to get in the role with her and character with her. Mm-hmm. We never met prior to that film. And you saw the chemistry. Yeah, you saw the chemistry. You never know. You wouldn't have. Nope. We were so anxious to work. We were the first ones on set. In other words, when Chad, the creative, mind behind the whole project, when Chad had us booked, I figured we'd be doing our stuff, maybe halfway through the shoot. No, Aaron and I were first ones up. And we shot in the Philadelphia soundstage, Sun City Center Studios or whatever. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest, it was like the size of a football field. That's where the studio itself, dude. Jeez. That's why when you watch the scene, the composition is so big, right?
It's so dark. It looked like there was so much space. Like there was no ceiling.
That's what I'm saying. That was the idea, because it was all in this guy's head.
Yeah.
What was happening in him. It needed a dream sequence. And it was literally like the size of a football field. We had a great time shooting there. And Erin and I are still great friends. We worked on several projects. She'll be coming on to Rosemary Street, the latter half of the season.
Congrats.
Thank you. I'll let her know. Well, she'll see this, but it's funny you said that earlier about like height. Everybody always thinks I'm taller. Yeah. But when they meet me in person, they're like, dude, you're kind of an average guy. I'm like, especially in What Death Leaves Behind, because my character was so bold and so brash and so angry and just, you kind of just assume, because the power, it's almost like the ocean-sized power, and all of a sudden, you've created and you've moved people. And even at that premiere, like, and here's Johnny Alonso, and there was this young boy, I swear to you, he was like, I thought you were taller, man. I'm like, hey, man, you know, that I did my job, brother. Yeah, it was, you know, it's all about a perception. Like I said, it's a heightened reality. An actor needs to get into his head, but also needs to find a way to turn it off. Yeah, you got to get out of it. You got to get out of it. Yeah, you know, a lot of my characters, I book through my agent. Oh, obviously through my agent. I trust what she submits me for, and she knows what I'm good at, what I'm going to be good with. She also knows what I'm not good at. I'm not very good at comedy, even though I have, you know, I've taken on comedic roles. It's just not my thing, and I'm always booked as a darker character because of my persona. See the difference? Yeah. It's like the contrast. I can turn on like the rebel with a heart kind of thing, you know? Because if you play the rebel like a rebel, he's the most boring person on set. But if you play with a lot of emotion inside that you're hurt, and that's why you're being so rebellious, right. That's the reason you're an ass, then all of a sudden people are like, oh, I get him now. There is something behind the story. So my character and Aaron's character, I've always said, we're the two neighbors you don't want to have move into your neighborhood. We're those guys. But you got to remember, they left from another neighborhood because they had problems. Yeah, so our characters obviously had major problems. And that's how I dive into my characters. That's how I do it. I build that sense of, he was a real person. He went to third grade. He made me didn't graduate from fourth grade, but he went to third grade, and you know, but he's had problems. I mean, and that's what people have to remember in real life. If someone, you know, has an attitude or they just rub you wrong, remember, you don't know what happened to them 20 minutes ago. Right. That's, you know, the trauma that they might have. You don't know. You just don't know. And I bring that into my acting. I'm like, if my character is comedic, you know, he comes from this kind of family. If my character is supposed to be dark and, you know, he's carrying a blade, you know, he comes from a fractured family. But he's trying to hide the fact, and that's what I like. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It's chaos mixed with conformity. That's how you build character, brother. You know, and that goes out for all you actors out there. Don't play it two-dimensional. Play it five-dimensional. 3D glasses, man. I'm telling you, man. That's how your characters have to be. They got to be that big. And when you prove that to the real casting directors and the real filmmakers out there, you'll get called back and you'll start working as much as, you know, a regular actor. That's all they do. That's all I do. I've been acting for many years now, man. And you know, I got a house in California, and that's great. It's great, bro. You know, all the great residuals that come. Dude, you know, being in the union is great. It's so funny, and I know we need to go to a quick break. But yes, we do. It's so funny that, you know, people don't. You got to understand, this man has been on Disney shows. I have. You know, you're talking since he was a little tyke. He's been in this business. It's been a while, man. It's pretty amazing. It is. Do we need that break? We do. Let's go for that break, my man. So, you know, coming back from our little intermission there, talking about a lot of enlightening stuff. I mean, you're really filling me in with information about you that I always wondered, and I know you can just look it up online, a lot of it, but it's nothing like talking to the man in person. My man. About your actual experiences, hearing it from your perspective, and just floating around. I'm hearing about some of your old projects that you've done in the past that are actually coming back, you know, reboot style. Like, I mean, and these were big time big shows. They really were. Man, you've done your homework. Yes. As you know, I was on Dawson's Creek as a young actor, and then I was one of the few that transitioned over to the show that took over Dawson's Creek, called One Tree Hill. Yep. Both Dawson's Creek and One Tree Hill have rumors that they're going to be on reboot. And it's a great thing. I can't say too much, but the thing with Dawson's Creek, I think once I should say, Katie Holmes signs on to it, it'll be back. And my agent's already on top of that one. So very excited, very excited, because I played a minor character, but I had several episodes in the last season. So I got to work with Katie and Josh Jackson, and we became very good, cast friends.
Sure.
Moving on from Dawson's, I went on to One Tree Hill playing Joey D, the band manager on the show. And I got to meet so many cool actors, and I did several episodes. I was considered a core recurring. Yeah, so me and core recurring. Core recurring. Me and Sophia Bush, me and Bethany Joy Lenz, me and Chad Michael Murray. It was sick, man, and I built a huge fan base off that character. And OTH is. It's on. It's. There are rumors, right, for the reboot.
Yeah.
Sophia and Bethany are trying to put it together, and both shows will be on Netflix.
Okay.
That's going to be, where you'll be able to access it. My old episodes of One Tree Hill are on HBO Max right now.
Okay.
And you can see my old episodes of Dawson's Creek. That's on Netflix as well. So like you said earlier, man, God bless the union.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's great to see SAG and AFTRA back the way it seemed like it used to be.
man. Without it, man, we wouldn't have dental and health, and it's the next level work, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying non-union independent isn't good. Of course, there's some great work. I've done a lot of that stuff in the past. Sure, I have. But sooner or later, like some of our favorite actors, you can give me 5 of your favorite actors, and I can tell you right now, all 5 of them are union. Mm-hmm. You got to in order to work.
Right.
Yeah, but I know when we were on break, we were talking about the paranormal series. Yes. Show is called A Haunting, and in the 3rd episode of A Haunting, I played a character named Mike Esperanza, and I tell people to this day that is still one of my favorite credits in my, as you said, laundry list of credits.
Yes.
Because that set was like working in the haunted mansion that you'd find in Disney World. It was just the coolest, man. Like, weird shaped doors, staircases going nowhere, just leading to nowhere. You turn around, and it's a soundstage home. And what I loved about that episode of A Haunting, and it's one of the most re-aired and watched episodes of the entire show.
Yeah.
It's in the top 5, I think, or top 7 or 10, whatever it may be. If you watch those kind of paranormal shows, there's always the character. And then the actor playing the character, right? There's the character, the guy that's telling the story, and then an actor playing that guy, the real life guy.
Right.
Well, in my episode, Mike Esperanza was dark-faced. He was dark-lit. He wanted to keep his anonymity. Mm-hmm. So you never saw Mike Esperanza. You heard his voice, but you never saw him. The only guy that you saw was Johnny Alonso playing Mike Esperanza.
Wow.
That's why people were like, dude, that was one of the coolest episodes that season.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
The concept of how they created that lore was really
it was really slick. So it was such a famous and popular episode. It really was, man. And I remember when it was on national TV when it first came out, and I was at the power plant here in Baltimore, and this couple came up to me and said, we just saw you on that show. And I was like, yeah. It was just nice to be recognized for that. But I was so recognized from that episode that the producers from New Dominion Pictures that did A Haunting couldn't put me back on the show for years because I was like, oh, that's that guy who played Mike Esperanza.
Right.
So thankfully, they just.
That's another thing. You have a very recognized.
I have a very recognized. Yeah, right.
I wanted to get that in.
Yeah, thank you. So seasons went by. My agent's like, "Can Alonso get back on?" I'm like, "No, sorry, Johnny Alonso can't." He says his episode's still doing great, and they're gonna remember him from that season. So years went by. Finally, season 11. It's in season 11. They called my agent and they said, "We finally have a role for him. It's perfect. I think the time has passed enough." And my agent's like, "Is it a good co-starring role?" And he said, "We wouldn't give him anything less." And it's an episode called Nevermore, and it's on A Haunting, Nevermore, season 11. And I play this really cool character, once again, co-starring lead, and again, that episode is one of the most popular episodes of season 11. So you can watch all this stuff on Discovery Plus, and they also re-air on the Travel Channel.
Travel Channel.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, all primetime,
networks,
programs,
dude.
right? I mean, it's viewing. This is your everyday program. It doesn't matter what streaming.
It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. It's there.
It's there.
And it's national. It's international.
Yep, national and international.
And that's what I said earlier before we went to break. It's next level, man. My agent always says, you got to graduate from high school sooner or later. Yeah, so a lot of people kind of get stuck in just working. But then you're working for not necessarily the right person, You got to think about yourself and you got to move on. And you don't want to be associated with certain circles for very long. Right. Acting, I hate saying it, but as actors, we're very nomadic. We are rogues. We're lone wolves. We're sharks. We're rogue sharks. Right. So, you got to get used to that. It's nice to always have a group of people to work with, right. But home is where you hang your hat. So, you're always in a new office. That's what I always say whenever you work on a new job. Speaking of the latest project, new job. Rosemary Street. I've been dropping that name time and again. So Rosemary Street's a new series that Elena and I are co-producing.
Oh, okay.
Co-directing.
So now you're on the other side of the camera.
Now I'm on the other side of the camera. I'm co-directing with her. I'm co-producing with her. And we're co-casting. We're doing pretty much everything. When I'm on screen, she directs me. When she's on screen, I'm directing her.
Wow.
We just got to, it's great. And everybody in our cast of Rosemary Street, we don't just choose them for their look. We don't just choose them for their great acting ability or singing ability. We pick them because they got the right positive energy. The show, man.
You need the right energy. So after casting and all that, you already know.
You already know. That's why we like having in-person casting.
Right.
None
of that Zoom online.
No. We will do that, but it's like you don't really know the person until they're actually in front of you. Like, you knew me, but you didn't really know me until now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, dude. So our casting, we've had several thousand submissions for all of these roles. I mean, I don't know, tens of thousands. And the cast has just been great. It is a lot, brother. It's a lot. National auditions, We've booked people out of Florida, actors out of Florida, New York, Los Angeles, all over the country.
Well, I had a question for you, and I'm going to ask you this question after break.
Yeah.
Because I know this is one of the primary questions of a lot of people that are on the other side meaning fans and viewers.
Sure.
Are always curious about, and I'm going to ask you that when we get back out.
You got it, Mal. I'm right here.
So once again, I just want to thank Robbie's Down and Bar and Grill for allowing us to do this interview here with such a legend in the film industry, writer, producer, actor. He even plays music. I see clips where you're playing the guitar, you sing, man. You do it all. But,
thanks, man.
We were talking about the project that you're working on along with colleagues of yours called Rosemary's Place.
Yeah, Rosemary Street.
Rosemary Street.
Yes.
Rosemary Street.
Very good.
And one of the things a lot of people, including myself, who I create projects, film projects, and people always ask me about the budget. And the budget is the budget can blow your eyes up like this, or the budget can make you say, I don't know, do I want to be a part of that? But the budget can draw people from all over the planet, if you will.
Yeah.
What is that like when you know that as soon as somebody sees what kind of budget, a significant budget, it's going to bring in a lot of attention. I mean, how do you deal with that, and how does your team deal with that?
Okay, I'll try to answer this fairly and as easily as possible. If you're working with people that have great reputations, clean reputations, that are known for their previous work, veterans in the industry, that have a history of being associated with A-listers, that are being associated with real writers and real filmmakers.
Sure.
You're going to be able to draw actors in from all over the place. I want to work with them. I saw them on that TV show.
Right.
Oh my God, I know that name. Yes, my sister watches that show on Discovery, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, because whenever my agent gets the breakdown, she always says, this is who's directing, this is the casting, have we worked with any of these people? We always look for the names.
Right.
And if there's one name that I know, I'm like, oh, absolutely, this guy's fantastic. I've never met him, but I've seen his work. Then there's a submission.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have to have a lot of money to do that, but you do need to have money to make your creative world spin.
Right.
The directors that are always, oh, there's no money involved. You know how I work. I love when they say, oh, no, but I'm trying to help you with your career. Give me a break, man. Don't bullshit me, man. Don't bullshit me, man. Yeah, come on, man. It's like you're not perpetuating anybody's career other than yours. And it's not about that. I said it earlier, man. It's about community. It's about a brotherhood and a sisterhood. So yes, to answer your question fairly, you do need to have a budget. You do need to have a budget. Let's just talk on the low end. Sure, the low end, you're not going to always get the prime actors that you want.
Right.
You'll get good actors, but if the script is incredible with good actors, yeah, that'll work out. That'll work out. But if the script is mediocre and you have good actors, well, guess what? The project's really probably not going to go anywhere.
Right.
I've been blessed to work with some incredible actors, on all levels.
Sure.
And sometimes you just have to, I want to do this because I like these people. I like the script. I think we can do something with it. Rosemary Street, the writing is phenomenal. We have, I just mentioned Alana Moscat and Kai Jackson, as well as many others that are co-writing.
Yes.
And it's such a diverse cast. We have...
Pardon the interruption. Kai's also...
Kai's writing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Kai's writing. Yeah. He's a phenomenal writer.
Never knew that.
Oh,
That's quite interesting, for our audience. I mean, he's a newscaster here in Baltimore.
Yeah.
What is that? What station does
he was on Jay-Z for a while. Yeah, then I think he's now on Fox. Yeah, man. Yeah, the guy's a power. He's a power hitter.
Yeah. But go ahead.
No worries, man.
I wasn't expecting you to say that.
Yeah, Kai, man. Kai Jackson, man. He's my guy. And Atlanta's won awards for her series. She's won awards for writing. That's what you want. It starts with a good script. Any director that tells you, oh, we can just, I have ideas on set. We'll just go with it. No, dude, I've been studying this for a month. Yeah. Don't change the dialogue on us now. Because when directors do that, you know what happens? All of a sudden, the flow of the story's gone. Yeah. You don't change Shakespeare. No. It stays the way it is. Yeah. So actors, we're paid to memorize. When I memorize, see, a few of us are very fortunate and unfortunate. I have photographic memory, so I can look at it. I need to pretty much memorize everybody's lines for the photographic memory to work, but it works for me. So when you tell me you're going to change it on, I got an idea, we're just going to change it on set. You already know that director is weak. Right. That director doesn't know what he's doing. Right. Yeah. This is going to be so much better. Well, you should have figured that out, pal, 5 months ago. So.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I've actually made statements on set about when someone has changed the writing.
Yeah, it's like, dude.
It definitely bothers me. Because you get into the flow of what you just read. You spent X amount of time working on that, and then all of a sudden they want to change
you get it.
And it screws up.
And
it can mess up the flow.
Brother, on prime time, on all the shows that I've worked on, it's mandatory that we have verbatim scripts in our head. If they're going to change, you change a word here or there, it's fine. And if it's their decision to get rid of stuff, they never add stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're like, that's too wordy. Just say this and that. Oh, perfect. Right. But they're not going to say, hey, listen, man, Derek, can you just rehearse this really quickly? 5 new lines, 10 new. No, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
That's how they do it. That's how you do it in the bigger world. In on the next level. So Rosemary Street does have a good budget. Getting back to that, it has a Fortunately, we have investors. Yeah.
Which was my next question. I
Yeah.
knew you was going to get to it.
Yeah, because I know where this is leading.
Of course,
you have to have someone to back you.
Yes.
Yeah. If you are your own exec producer, you start to worry about how this money's going to come back, and then the creative flow is gone.
Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's just the way of life. I mean, I'd be worried too if I was investing all my money into a project. But our script is so good that we were able to shop it, and we were able to get funding. And we're going to get more funding. I mean, it's just...
It'll keep the ideas for it to come in. You guys set it up that way.
Yeah.
You knew what, you've been around the block quite a few times. So you have
many.
this, 2 and 2, then you add that equals 4.
Yeah.
We got a good script, we got good actors, we got good producers, we know how we're filming it, we have a plan for what we're going to do with it when it's done, and all of that, and that's what you
Well, that's what takes a team of veterans. That's what takes a team of people that really know the industry.
Yeah.
Not just posing. People that are posing doesn't make any sense.
Right.
You're going to waste a lot of people's time and energy and money and love. They're going to, after a while, they're going to have disdain for you, disdain feelings for you. So, Rosemary Street, we have such a great cast and great people bringing great people.
Sure.
Great scripts bringing great minds alike. And that's what we've been doing. We have 2 from the TV show The Voice that are on our show. Yeah, dude. Parajita and Kike.
Okay.
Yeah. Parajita Bastola and Kike Gomez. They're on our show.
I mean, you got all the heavy hitters.
Brother, I got Christopher Williams on the show from New Jack City.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
He was a singer.
He's a singer. Yeah, dude. He's phenomenal. He's one of my boys. The guy's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm cashing in on a lot of.
Still be fairly young. Pardon me. I mean,
Yeah, that's all right.
Christopher's he's still fairly young.
Dude. In our industry,
I'm not going to act like I know how old he was.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was around the time where he was still a young man.
Yes.
New Jack City and all that. He was a young man.
Correct. And now he's playing a professor in our school. He's stage theater teacher at our school stuff. Because we're teenage driven. This is going to be this show is like an old show that I was on, like Dawson's Creek or like One Tree Hill. Those shows are no longer, but the ideas are coming back. And I keep telling Elena, listen, man, my old saying, we are right on time. We are late enough to be right on time. That's how we are, bro. You got
like that. I'm gonna dub that from you.
You do it.
I
You
give
do
you
it.
Credit for it.
Do it. Do it. You do
I
it.
do it just like you said.
That's exactly, dude. I'm telling you, man, we are late enough to be right on time.
I like that.
That's how it is, man. And that's why we got so much traction on this. I'm cashing in on a lot of A-list actors that we know, and I have some incredible up-and-coming talent. Like they go round for round with me.
Right.
Yeah. You got to be tested, man.
Ain't easy.
No, it ain't
We've
easy.
seen that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you got to be tested. If I'm the brightest actor on set, I don't want to be on that set. I need people that are, going to punch me back. When I say punch harder.
Right.
And that's what I got on Rosemary, bro. I can't wait for you to see the pilot. We're dropping it in a week or so.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
All right, so where are you gonna drop it? Is that gonna?
It's the pilot, so we're able to drop it because we're talking with so many people.
Okay.
But we're gonna put it on all the social media platforms, etc.
Okay.
But we are talking with a couple, and that I'm under NDA. I can't say anything about it. But but
You sure you can't leak a little?
what is this TMZ? I didn't know this was TMZ. No. But I will tell you when cameras are off where we're going. And I know that your people over there are telling me we need to cut for a break, right?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Producer. It is break time. We will be right back. Thank you guys for tuning in. So I'm back here with Johnny Alonso. And during the break, we talked about, some of the past projects, right? Now these past projects, we're talking about One Tree Hill, Dawson's Creek. I mean, anybody that at the age of 35 or up at this point in the world, anybody, because those were national shows.
Yeah.
So you're talking about people overseas that would watch those programming because that's how it works.
I got fan mail and hate mail all the time
But
from
you
overseas.
understand what I'm talking
I do.
about. So Is this how you're able to attract these kind of A-list artists?
Good question.
Part of these
Good
productions?
question.
I mean, you know, I'm sure it helps.
Yeah, it does. It really does. And what you just said is exactly what I was saying earlier. When you have talent that have been on shows and in films and commercials that are recognized, those names attract other people. And yeah, you know, sure, they'll use my name in breakdowns, but they'll also put in some of the other actors that have been on the show. And they'll say, oh yeah, I remember this chick was on this show. Oh, this guy was in this film. Oh, I bought his CD. This guy's a smooth R&B singer. I mean, dude, that's how this works. Yeah. So yes, that's how you attract actors and talent to come to your show to at least audition. But it also attracts investors.
Yes.
Yes, see? Because let's just pretend there's an actor out there and she's like, oh, Dad, I really want to be on the show. And, you know, you don't know. He might be an executive producer. Hey, let's go there. Oh, let's look them up. Oh, Alonso, Johnny Alonso's done all this. Oh, check it out, man. Kevin Wynn, Carson Jean Holly. Look at all these people. And they all live around here. This is great. All of a sudden, you're getting inquiries. Hey, you know, are you looking for, you know, future executive producers? Well, the answer is always yes. You know, that's just how it is. But no, that's how we are getting all this talent. You wait until you see what's happening with Rosemary. Rosemary Street has some killer names. Mm-hmm. I mean, really, and once we put them in, and I am not at liberty to say who, but there's some big names in Baltimore, and I know you know who they are. Right. Well, once we get them locked and loaded into our show, they're only gonna help perpetuate us to the next level, which is gonna get other named actors. Sure. That's why you always promote the actors that are in your films or television shows. Sure. You always, it's not
all the names you've mentioned in this interview.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like right on the tip of your tongue.
Well, you have to.
You didn't even hesitate. You didn't stumble on nobody's name.
No, man, because they've helped me.
Right.
But, you know, it has.
Your point.
Yeah, like, you know, like Rosemary Street poster, right? Yeah. All the names, the names are there. The core cast is there. Sure. You know, if you're an unknown director, no one's gonna know your film unless you put the names of actors and producers that have been in the industry that have created a name for themselves. They're only hurting themselves by not promoting the other people on a project. It almost sounds ridiculous, right? But no, believe it. There are some people out there that just don't. And then they wonder why they're not making their money back or why they have 4 failed films. Right. Well, change your ways. Yeah. And actors need to do the same thing too.
Be selfish
never be selfish about it. It's a community, bro. That's what I was saying.
It's amazing. You're practicing what you preach. I've seen it over the last few years.
Yeah, man.
I've seen it myself. And I'm not even around you. I just watch how you maneuver social media wise.
Yeah.
You know, you're always promoting, you're always showing love, you're always showing appreciation.
Always, bro.
You're acting like you fit right in the general population or something. I mean, that's how you act.
Well, that means a lot to me, man, because, you know, it's how I was raised. My parents, you know, I was raised from an immigrant family. They're not from this country. My brothers and I are first generation Americans, so we have seen how things change. Sure. And, you know, how a vibe or a color of the world may change just ever so slightly because we think differently. So, yeah, I love what you just said. Maneuver through the crowd as if I'm just a regular guy. Well, I am a regular guy. I just work with a camera in front of me all the time. There's a difference, you know. It's not always about me. It's never about me. You know, I can be a big part of a project, but it's about the project and how we get it together. Sure. So, you know, actors have to remember that. Filmmakers need to remember that. Sure. It's not, especially when they don't have a name. You know, let's not start at that low level.
Growing your name, growing your brand.
Growing your name.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
It takes a lot of time and commitment.
It does, brother. You know, but like yourself, we wouldn't be in the industry if we didn't understand that. You know?
Yes, sir. And I appreciate your time. And I know we got to wrap this interview up because you got other commitments.
I do.
But the question I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
and listen, you know, I've seen you get a little physical, a little active in some of these roles. Uh-huh. What's it like for you, and how hard do you study for the physicality of a role. So if you got to tussle with somebody,
Yeah.
or roll around,
Yeah.
or fall.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your methods in getting in shape for roles?
Well, that's a great question. As an actor, you have to always stay in shape mentally. For those physical roles, you got to get into some kind of physical shape. Fortunately, with the union, we have stage combat and guides on set that will watch, help us. What I call a dance routine, because it is really a dance routine when they put the choreography together, and because you can't just go up there and start, swinging a left hook, hoping you're not gonna hit anybody. Come on, man, come on. So to what that leaves behind, Erin O'Brien and I were very attuned to each other, and I swore to her, there's a big trick. Like when an actor grabs someone, you never grab a woman here, because they bruise very easily. So I was like, Erin, I'm gonna grab at you, give me your wrists, and then I can shake you this way. And of course, our stunt choreographer was like, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. But yeah, because all of a sudden, and you can't improv in these things. Because like I said, you throw a left hook and all of a sudden someone's got a black eye, they're gonna throw one at you. Yeah, so to get into shape physically, I knew that I just, for what that leaves behind, I knew that I had to be playing a character. I got so angry that the violence came out of him, but I had to also play him as a heroin addict.
Yep.
So you remember, dude, yeah, exactly.
You had a
Wife beater on, like a crazy old shirt, and I'm like, where are my drugs? And she's like, I did it all, and that's why he got so enraged. I had to remember now as an actor that I'm not just mad that she did the drugs. I'm mad because I needed the drugs. And that's how I build my character. That's how I build my character. And it's to the point where he doesn't even need the drugs now to get that violent. He is just that crazy for it. And, I don't want to give away the story, but you know what happens later.
People have not seen, everyone hasn't seen that.
No.
Get out there and look it up.
Yeah.
Look up this man's catalog. He's got a lot of stuff. There's a lot of your projects, I haven't seen.
There's a lot of projects that I haven't seen that I'm in. Check my IMDb out. I'll give you all the info, throw graphics up on screen and all that. But, man, there's a lot of stuff. And I look forward to working with you because, every time we've had break, and everybody here, you've all heard me, we're going to be working together.
That's right. I'm pumped.
It's a good thing.
I'm super excited. That's big for me. I've been doing it, for some years now.
You have.
And, I'm open and waiting for a great opportunity, and here it is.
Well, you know what, man? Like I said earlier in this interview, it's about a positive energy and a positive vibe.
Yes, sir.
Half the people that we cast, for the show in particular, Rosemary Street, or anybody that I really want to work with now, I like to have the meet and greet. Yeah. I see what your resume says. I know the directors you've worked with. If I needed to get a reference, I'll give them a call. Right. But I want to know you as a person. Because if you can fit in with my new tribe that we're building, welcome. Come on board, man. That's how it is. And it really is how a lot of us actors that get a lot of great auditions, in-person auditions, by the way, in Los Angeles, in front of casting directors, is because the casting director knows us as who we are as a person. The self-tape thing, yeah, it's a great thing, but you're also casting. You get it. It's better to meet the person. Yeah, and I can win a room. Yeah, half the reason I book half the stuff in Los Angeles or anywhere else in person is because of my personality. Nobody wants to work with a jerk for 6 weeks. You can't. I'm not gonna waste my money and time on that person.
A lot of money.
Yeah, man.
and just, again, there was so much that we could have covered.
I know.
We didn't really get into, we really just scratched the surface.
We have, bro. We'll do this again.
We've had so many different projects, I really wanted to cover.
I know.
But, we will have another interview.
We will. Maybe on Rosemary Street. I'll bring you on set.
Yeah, that would be great. Are you guys hearing this?
Yeah, everybody hear this? Yeah, look at you. Quiet applause back there. Yes, I know.
I'm super excited about it. One last question.
Yeah, of course, man.
We can wrap up.
Sure.
Have you ever had a stunt double?
No, I have not. And you know what, man? To be frank with you, I wouldn't want it. I like doing the stunt. I like stunt acting. Is actually fun.
That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah.
So some actors have their choice, right? Is that something within your contract?
Always. My agent's always like, are you comfortable with this? Yeah. She always asks. She says, remember, if you don't feel comfortable, it's okay. They'll get someone to double for you. And I'm like, well, that's cool. Oh,
So
yeah.
you've seen that. That actually has come up.
Oh, yeah. And there have been actors, my friend actors, that are like, I don't feel comfortable throwing a blade near somebody's face, and they'll say, get somebody else. Oh, yeah. So, but within the 7 or 12 gigs where I've been in physical action, or, you know, whatever it may be, I've always done my own stunts. Yeah, dude, yeah. Riding horses, riding motorcycles. That's all me, man.
Yeah, you sing, you play guitar.
Yeah, you know, yeah, man. Triple threat.
And listen, you know, I'm really grateful for your time.
Brother.
I really am.
My pleasure.
You know, thank you, Robbie's Bar and Grill again. You know,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Ed. Thank you, Brandy,
Thank
for
you.
allowing me to interview this great legend, local legend.
My man.
You know, who's going on a flight back to LA this Tuesday.
Yeah.
So, appreciate your time, Johnny.
Of course, brother.
I
Always
can't
talking.
wait to work with you in the future.
You will.
But again, I can't wait to see you again in front of these cameras for another interview. This has been the Speak Your Mind Show. I'm Derek Stroman. Y'all have a great one.
My man. That was great.